Have you ever stopped to ponder the difference between reacting and acting? You see, these two words, so similar in their construction, hold vastly contrasting implications when it comes to our lives. Consider reactions. They're often immediate, reflexive responses to stimuli around us. A sudden shout might startle us, or a surprising piece of news might leave us speechless. These are reactions driven by emotion and often beyond our immediate control. Now let's turn the table and think about actions. Actions are deliberate, they're considered, they're intentional. You don't simply act on a whim, you act with a purpose, with a goal in mind. It's not a reflex, it's a choice. So while both reactions and actions are responses, they come from different places within us. One is an involuntary reflex fueled by emotions, the other a conscious decision guided by logic and intention. Actions and reactions, though seemingly similar, can lead us down vastly different paths. Let me narrate a story to illustrate this point. Imagine a tale of two individuals, each presented with the same challenge. A daunting mountain stands before them, a symbol of a problem that needs to be overcome. One individual, let's call him Paul, reacts instantly. He allows his emotions to take the lead. Fear and frustration take hold of him. He sees the mountain as an insurmountable obstacle, an unfair burden. He throws his hands up in despair, shouting at the sky. Why me? He reacts with anger, fear, and despair. And in doing so, he closes the door to any potential solution. His reactive response locks him in place, rendering him unable to move forward or find a way around the problem. He's left standing at the foot of the mountain, the door of opportunity firmly shut. On the other side of this tale, we have Sarah. She too sees the mountain. She too feels the initial stab of fear and apprehension. But unlike Paul, she doesn't let her emotions dictate her response. She takes a deep breath, steps back and considers the situation. She acknowledges her feelings but doesn't let them rule her. Instead, she chooses to act. Sarah invests time to think, plan, and strategize. She assesses her resources and abilities, plots potential routes, and prepares for the journey ahead. She understands that the mountain is not going away, but that doesn't mean she can't find a way over, around, or through it. Her action-oriented approach opens up new horizons, new possibilities. She's not just standing at the foot of the mountain anymore. She's climbing it, one step at a time, inching closer to the summit with every passing moment. What distinguishes Paul and Sarah is not the challenge they face, but how they respond to it. The same mountain, the same problem, but two entirely different outcomes. As you can see, the one who reacted found a closed door, while the one who acted discovered a new horizon. Actions, though they may require more effort and thought, can lead us to unexpected places. Imagine standing at the foot of a mountain. You're yearning to reach the peak, but all you can see are the obstacles in your way. You could react to this situation, become overwhelmed and turn back. Or you could take deliberate action, plot your course, and start climbing. That's the power of action. It's the decision to move forward despite the challenges, to create your own path instead of being directed by the circumstances. Actions are like keys. They unlock doors that reactions often keep shut. When you react, you're merely responding to what's happening around you. You're not in control. You're allowing the world to dictate your journey. But when you act, you're taking the wheel. You're deciding where you want to go and how you want to get there. Let's consider a real-world example. Think about the world's most successful people. Did they reach their pinnacle by reacting to what life threw at them? No. They took deliberate action. They made plans, set goals, and took steps every day to achieve them. They didn't let obstacles deter them. Instead, they viewed these challenges as opportunities to learn, grow, and adapt. Actions are powerful because they're proactive. They allow us to shape our own destiny rather than being shaped by it. It's the difference between being a passenger and being the pilot. It's the difference between watching life happen and making life happen. Furthermore, actions can lead to unexpected opportunities. Every step forward, no matter how small, opens up new possibilities. It's like walking through a forest. You never know what you might discover until you take that first step. It might be difficult, it might be scary, but it's also exciting and rewarding. In essence, actions transform us. They make us stronger, wiser, and more resilient. They help us to overcome challenges, achieve our goals, and realize our potential. They lead us down paths we never imagined, to places we never thought we'd reach. Actions have the power to open up new horizons and lead us to places we never thought possible. Reactions, on the other hand, can often limit our potential and close doors. Now you might be wondering, how can something as natural as reacting be detrimental? Well, let's delve into that. Consider this. Reactions are often impulsive and not thought through. They are immediate responses, driven by our emotions rather than our rational mind. This impulsive behavior can lead to decisions that we might regret later. Let's say you're in a meeting and someone criticizes your work. An immediate reaction might be to defend yourself aggressively, which could lead to conflict. But if you had taken a moment to process the criticism, you might have found some truth in it, leading to improvement and growth. Next, let's talk about missed opportunities. When we react, we often focus on the immediate concern, overlooking the bigger picture. For instance, you receive a job offer that doesn't meet your expected salary. Your immediate reaction might be to reject it. However, if you had looked beyond the immediate concern of salary, you might have noticed the potential for growth and learning in that position. Lastly, reactions often close doors. When we react impulsively, we might say or do things that can't be taken back, potentially damaging relationships and opportunities. Imagine you're in a disagreement with a friend. Reacting out of anger might lead to harsh words that can't be unsaid, possibly ending the friendship. But if you had taken a moment to respond calmly, the disagreement could have been resolved without damaging the relationship. Reactions are natural, they're a part of being human, but they can also be limiting. They can lead to poor decisions, missed opportunities, and closed doors. By recognizing these limitations, we can learn to pause, to think before we react, and to choose actions that open up new horizons. Reactions, while sometimes necessary, can often limit our potential and close off opportunities. So let's dare to act, not just react. Let's dare to open new doors. Let's dare to unlock our full potential. So how can we choose to act rather than react? Well, it starts with understanding the difference between the two. Reactions are often knee-jerk, emotional responses to a situation. They happen in the heat of the moment, without much thought. Actions, on the other hand, are considered responses. They involve thought, contemplation, and a deliberate decision to respond in a certain way. Now let's explore some practical strategies for choosing action over reaction. Firstly, consider taking a moment to think before responding. When a situation arises, rather than instinctively reacting, take a deep breath. Give yourself a moment to process what's going on. This pause can provide the space needed to shift from reaction to action. Next, consider the potential outcomes. When faced with a decision, think about the possible consequences. What will happen if you react? What will happen if you act? Weighing these outcomes can guide you towards the path of action. Finally, make decisions based on logic rather than emotion. Emotions can cloud our judgment and lead to impulsive reactions. But by focusing on logic, we can make decisions that are more thought out and effective. Of course, this isn't to say that emotions should be ignored. They are an important part of our human experience. However, it's about finding a balance. It's about not letting our emotions dictate our actions, but rather using them as a guide, while also considering the logical aspects of the situation. And remember, choosing action over reaction isn't about suppressing our instincts. It's about honing them, refining them, making them work for us rather than against us. It's about becoming more mindful of our responses and making choices that align with our goals and values. The journey from reaction to action is a personal one. It requires introspection, self-awareness, and a willingness to change. But the rewards are immense. By choosing action, we can open doors, create opportunities, and shape our own destiny. Remember, while reactions may be our instinct, actions are often the wiser choice. In conclusion, our journey through life is shaped by our actions and reactions. We've unpacked the act or react dilemma, delving into how our responses can either restrict or expand our path forward. We've explored the power of actions, the ability they have to forge new paths, to create opportunities, and to shape our destiny. We've also examined the limitations of reactions, how they can confine us to the past and prevent us from moving forward. We've underscored the importance of choosing action over reaction, of daring to act instead of merely reacting. By doing so, we can unlock new possibilities, break away from the shackles of the past, and step into a future of our own making. So next time you're faced with a challenge, remember, reactions close doors, but actions open up new horizons. It is not just about responding to what life throws at us, but about taking control and charting our own course.